Okay, we're testing. Do we have sound? Okay. That's okay. Just make sure the sound's turned down in there. All right, so we didn't have sound before.
You want to redo the card?
So we're going to go right back through just what we talked about. If you're coming in late, that's fine because we didn't have sound. Yeah, bring the chicks back out.
All right, so everyone, if you're watching this, we are super sorry. We forgot to turn the mic on, and usually halfway through, I am like part of a moderator, so I like to go. I like to go and check if the stream is doing good, if it's not pixelated. And I turned on the stream, and there was it was super quiet. So if you are watching this, I'm extremely sorry, but
I kind of like that it's messed up because it shows you that we are new and it's fine. Okay, you want to go get the chicks?
I'll go get the chicks again.
It's okay. I don't see any comments, so I don't know if we had any viewers anyway, but that's hysterical. So for any of you that are thinking about doing lives or doing YouTubes, this isn't like I'm the worst case scenario. So this is awesome. I can show you that I'm not afraid to fail once in a while. So what I was talking about before was the Sale-A-Bration. This is the new catalog that's coming out, and I'm not allowed to show you inside, but I can show you the outside. So this is the mini catalog coming out in January. Right now we're in the demonstrator pre-order phase, and the Sale-A-Bration, as you may recall, in July there was another Sale-A-Bration that came and went, and we were always talking about it in our videos. Well, this is the new one coming out in January, and I was, just to recap, talking about this rainbow pattern here. Very popular this year. It's going to be everywhere. It's like a noodly rainbow pattern. And I don't know what the technical term of it is, but that's what I call it, and I'm seeing it everywhere. So for Friday, we decided to do a live because we have been really busy. We had some new members to our family show up. Here they are.
And also,
where's our little babies?
It's winter break.
Hello, chickies. These are our chickies. Meet our chickies. They were just born yesterday. They've been in their brooder, staying warm. Be careful, it'll jump off. These are from our backyard flock. We just hatched them in our incubator. They've been in their eggs for 21 days. And, hey, that's not nice. That one I think is a rooster. I'm not sure. They are our bantam rooster and our little red hen. We just wanted to see what we'd end up with. So this is what they look like, and aren't they cute? Hello. Their feet are kind of cold. Yeah. When they're peeping like this, they're not super happy.
Yeah. One of them, when I got there, was standing on top of the brooder. So he's standing on top of the
heat panel?
The heat panel. Oh.
And they're really funny. Yeah. You can see they have feathers on their feet, like this. That's like the bantam, the dad. He has that.
So if you're wondering if we're hurting these chickens by holding them like this is actually how you're supposed to hold them. They're not like, we're not hurting them or anything, but they kind of just like to walk around.
So we wanted to show you. We don't just do Stampin' Up! Videos. We also have other hobbies, including barnyard fun. All right, you want to take these guys back to get them warm again?
Yeah, can you hold that
I'll hold one. Yeah. So if you are just tuning in, that's fine because the whole first half of our video didn't have sound. Basically just wanted to take you through what we're doing this week for Christmas and some updates with Stampin' Up. I had mentioned before that the Stampin' Up! Corporate keeps putting out memos about, be sure to warn your customers that there's some delays, there's back orders, there's things going on with supply chain, but I haven't had any problems. I haven't had anything missing or back ordered. I've been able to basically get everything that I want, everything that I order just fine. And if you are curious about something or you're getting a message or you're not able to order it on the site,
here's one last view of the
bye, baby. not able to get it order it on the site, it just means that it's back ordered and that when it comes back into stock, they will make it orderable again. I guess they used to let you order it and then they would just send it to you out as it became available. But they've changed that policy just because it's, I think, probably been hard to keep track of things. So if you have any questions about anything that you've seen and you're having trouble ordering it, drop me a line, drop me an email. You can contact me on my Stampin' Up page, and I will make sure to get right back to you. So as you can see, I was talking before when we didn't have sound about this little ceramic gnome. This is something I painted when I went to Color Me Mine in Green Valley. This is for my local people. It is something that they're having a contest right now for Christmas tree themed ceramics. It's like a Christmas tree challenge. So anybody, any age can enter to win prizes. And if you're in this area, I would highly suggest that you go talk to Gina and Dottie. They are amazing. They are so helpful, and if you have any questions about anything, they are there to assist you, and they're really, really, really helpful. So I would double check. If you haven't followed them on Instagram, I would definitely consider going and checking them out. You can see there's more about the Christmas tree contest and stuff, and we're maybe going to try to do a collaboration. So this January, so I don't know. I'll post more about that if that ends up happening. But yeah, and thank you to Gabriel for baking this. It came out really cute. So Christmas cards. I've been going through Christmas cards like crazy this week. If you recall, most of the projects that we've done, Scout and I, have been Christmas related, simply because of the fact that I started Stampin' Up in July. So it's like Christmas in July, and we sort of focused on getting Christmas stuff rolling out to everybody. So I'm kind of looking forward to spring, because we're finally done with the Christmas stuff, and I can look at the new catalog and look at some spring and summer themed stuff. Instead of having fall and winter was kind of the focus for me. It's not all I do.
I'm gonna go check Twitch to see what's...
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna just pop back over like we had done before. I showed you we had these paper pumpkin set that was like this. And what's nice about Paper Pumpkin is that you can get a subscription to it. It's a self-contained craft box. In this case, it's Christmas cards. This theme was for November. And it comes with all of the twine and all these little cutouts. And it comes with a sample size stamp ink pad. It comes with photopolymer stamps that coordinate. And it's just a really good thing to either do like a party. You can create all different levels of projects, really simple or really complex. You can customize them with other, designer series paper. They usually come with enough to make about 6 to 12 pieces, and they give you a little wiggle room depending on the kit. So it's a really good thing to have. You can see with this one, I customized it. I used a bunch of drop knockouts from other projects that I had made, and I just created this mandala, and then I trimmed it down to size, and I used that with one of the spare cards that I had. Of course, you remember the Let It Snow. We did a video on that, how to make a shaker card. I've sent out a bunch of these. All of the cards that I've made for Christmas cards have come in under 2 ounces. Occasionally, some of them might be 3 ounces, but the cost to mail them it's very nominal. If it's something like this that has a lot of dimension to it, I might double envelope it, or I might put it in a padded envelope. But for something like this that you can see doesn't have a lot of thickness to it, you can just mail this like regular, and the cost for the stamp is the same. So I wanted to mention that. This Let It Snow card was made because my team leader, Sharon, did a swap. And so we had to do 20 identical cards. And that took a lot of supplies. But I will tell you, those have come in so handy all season. I've been giving them out with, gifts to delivery people. I've been mailing them. I've been just, it's been really good to have built up a Christmas stash all that time, and I'm really happy I did. This was one of the swap cards that I got. We showed this off on the World Card Making Day video that we made in October, and it was really, really fun. So this one was awesome. This was somebody else's card that they made. I don't know. I don't remember who made this one, but that was a really fun swap. And then, of course, you remember that we had done our Christmas in July Penguin Place video. This was a throwback to that. So it's fun to kind of look back on what we've done so far this year and see how far we've come. Scout and I have worked really hard to do a lot together. I've done a lot by myself.
Yeah, don't mind me here. I'm just checking Twitch to see if it's okay.
All right. I know, I'm still getting the hang of this. I have been really scared to go live because it's super complicated. I had to have somebody in, an audio-visual person in, to help me get my studio set up. And going live is a whole different animal than just doing like regular. So here we have the last video I did. One of the last videos I did. Of course, I did the blingy snowman card, which I actually mailed out to somebody, so I don't have that anymore. But I did a wreath. I used the Cricut, my Cricut maker back there. I've got a pile of stuff back there, but my Cricut maker to make this, and embossing folders. And I did a variety of techniques in that video to show you how versatile these paper products are. They can stand up to very rigorous manipulation, whether by machine, hand. You can see I bent some of the leaves. These are machine cut. There's paint and stamp ink all over. There's like Wink of Stella on this. There's ink on a lot of these. These have been not only cut by a machine, but then embossed and stamped, and they just really hold up well. This gold sparkly paper in there was from the Sale-A-Bration. So not to beat a dead horse, but I want to reiterate about how cool Sale-A-Bration is, because when you buy products out of the catalog, the Sale-A-Bration allows you to get stock to build up, to get sort of like perks. They've got special stamps that you can only get through Sale-A-Bration. The products that are in this catalog, you can only get through this catalog for a limited time. So it makes it kind of fun, because in the same way that Penguin Place, a lot of the stuff for Penguin Place was through Sale-A-Bration. You could only get it through Sale-A-Bration, some of the papers. That's the same with this. So you might really like this set, but then if you want to get a hold of some of the other set paper to augment this set that you can purchase, then you can only do it through Sale-A-Bration for a limited time. So, and you can order as many times as you want, but that's not a guarantee that things won't sell out, as was the case with this gold paper that was a limited edition item. So I would highly suggest you keep your eyes peeled for all that. Oh, can you turn that down?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So, and then the other thing, I didn't really talk about this in my video, but this ribbon here, this is a this is a Stampin' Up ribbon, and I've always been kind of a cheap crafter, like dollar store, things like that, and I didn't really understand fully why I would want to maybe spend a little bit more on some of the products that Stampin' Up has, but they've basically thought about everything. When I went to go mail my cards this Christmas, I realized they've thought about everything, even down to different weights. The ribbons and things like that are super smooth, super lightweight. You can dye them. They've done all the research for all of that. So everything that you buy in Stampin' Up products is compatible, and it's really easy to mix and match things from different sets. Overall, I have been, even though I signed up for Stampin' Up before I had really been a customer of Stampin' Up, I've been kind of won over by the product quality, the weight of the papers, just the overall quality of the design, the paperwork, the design team, the whole package, not to mention the community of people that create all kinds of really cool projects.
It might not seem like it, but a lot of things can matter. You have to check all of the things on the craft that like can maybe mess up your craft, like my mom said, the weight of the paper, or how good the glue sticks.
Yeah. So many different glues and adhesives. They have something for everybody. If you're real finicky and you're like, I don't really like this or I don't really like that, I guarantee they have something that will fit your requirement, because it's not, I used to think, oh, well, they don't have this and they don't have that, but they have a very specific, limited set of products that work really well together. They're basically foolproof and are totally compatible. So that's what is the benefit about it for me, is I just like that I can buy anything out of the catalog and I know it's going to go okay with the other products.
Yeah.
And you can find tons and tons of different other things to do with it too. That's what I like.
Yeah.
But enough about that. I think that the other thing that we talked about was a tip for when you get a card from a friend. Make sure, my little tip to you is to save the return address label and save the card. Take the return address label and stick it on the card from this year to save all your friends' addresses, so that next year when you're getting ready to do all of your Christmas cards and you've got a stack of Christmas cards on your desk from doing all the swaps all year and things like that, that you're ready to mail Christmas cards out in December. Think ahead. And birthday cards, highly recommend, if you're going to be purchasing sets, to be thinking about birthday cards. Everybody has birthdays, so that's a really good thing to plan ahead for. Masculine cards, most of the motifs are kind of feminine. Maybe we think in a more feminine artistic way. We want to do these, feminine crafts. But don't forget the men. When you're purchasing sets, think ahead. And I also have a top 10 top 10 items list on my blog to help you if you don't have anything in your workshop and you don't know where to start. I have a top 10 blog to help you decide. So yeah, this. And then, the other thing I was going to suggest to people about cards is when you're making your own cards, take your return address labels and put it on the back of your card. If you aren't a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator with a stamp or something like that, then put your return address on your card so that when people save the cards and throw the envelopes away, they've got your information. So that's one thing I learned this year.
Yeah, so there's a lot of good tips, but that's our one tip for today.
Christmas card tips. Yeah. So what else? I wanted to show you one last craft that I made this year. These are, I used felt and I sewed beads on to a felt project, and I'm super proud of it. And I made a few of those. They're great for ornaments. They're great for pins. But, be thinking ahead when you're crafting. Maybe you're tired of doing cards. Take a break. You can also, do fabric crafts, and you can attach those to your cards. In this particular case, I worked on these throughout last winter, and I had them sort of in my stockpile. So if you have projects that aren't Stampin' Up!, you can still combine things with the Stampin' Up! Products. Even though this is something I worked on before, stitchery, you can attach that to the front of a card just fine, So don't be afraid to mix and match what you're working on now based on, and, with what you've worked on in the past.
Yeah, so another tip from me, with cards, with birthday cards, you can always reuse, or just you can make them into great things. You can you can reuse the card, and you can paint it. I've noticed that you can paint cards white, and you can reuse them, so you don't have to spend money on more cards. So that's a good
idea. You could also use cards for scrapbook.
Yeah, you can. Another really cool thing you can do is, if you have all this white, random paper just lying around, again, it's like flimsy paper, like print paper, but it still can count as a card if you if you fold it in half and then cut out a square.
Or you could do like a snowflake.
Yeah, so you can find stuff around your house. And in one of the videos my mom used, you can look around the house for old and vintage stuff.
No, ephemera.
Yeah, you can use old and vintage stuff for your cards, and that's a really good tip that is like you can use like old train tickets, old photos. It doesn't really matter, just something vintage or old bottle caps.
Comes out, buttons, all kinds of stuff. That's what we did in the blingy card, added buttons. Then I wanted to touch on custom stamps. I can help you design custom stamps for your back of your cards and envelopes and brochures. There's more information about that in my blog. And this is a super handy tool to have for those of you going into the new year, looking for new clients or wanting people to be able to get in touch with you or know whose card that they received. This is a super handy custom stamp that I made for myself when I first started. And then I wanted to do a throwback to, like, I've become a Stampin' Up! Fan. So not only do I like the current stuff, but I really love the older stuff. This is an older stamp that was around. This was from 1998. Isn't it cute?
Yeah, it is.
I really love it. This style is kind of not really that popular anymore, but I love it.
So here's an example of what it actually looks like on paper.
Yeah.
It looks actually very similar. The thing I really hate about most stamps is that most stamps, they either dry out before you buy them and they don't make as good as a print. But on this one, it actually adds all the details. On stamps, they usually don't have that much of details.
You bring up a good point, how it hasn't dried out over time.
So for example, here are the little ruffles, all of the little fluffy things right here.
Color this?
Sure.
Okay, here, go ahead. And so I used espresso, early espresso, and this is an idea that I got from my friend Susan at Simple Creative Me. She is a local artist and also my neighbor. She loves to work in recycled items. If you want to check out her stuff, I'll put a link below. And she taught me you can use old packaging like chipboard, like cereal boxes and things like that. And you can put a layer of gesso on them and then do like gel print or stamping. And then you can color something like this and then use this as a tag. So that's another fun mini project if you're just the kind of person that likes to color stuff. But yeah, here.
So what I was talking about is that you see the fluff. If you can't really see it, but there's little fluffy accents on this little like cotton part.
You can see it.
And yeah, and basically,
Show.
So basically, the thing I like about stamps that include detail is that they include these really small details that's actually on the cover art. So we're going to kind of color a little bit. You can color along, of course, and you can use any kind of markers. It doesn't even have to be Stampin' Up! Markers, but it works best with this kind of paper. So we're going to color a little bit.
Yeah, I love these markers. They're really super blendable. I think, we did another lesson where we showed how to blend them, and they are just awesome. It starts off kind of dark, but then it lightens up, and you can go back over it.
Yeah, so if it's not as dark as you wanted it to be, you can always let it dry, and then you can go over it again. Another thing, rule that I always follow for alcohol markers is don't color over one spot more than a few strokes, because then it can bleed through the paper and it's not a pretty scene. So just wait for it to dry and then you can start coloring over it again. But if you start coloring over it again and again, it'll start to get really wet and it'll eventually bleed through.
You know what though? This paper is nice and sturdy and it doesn't. This is like a cardstock. This is a cardstock, and it's meant to stand up to rigorous manipulation. So this is a blender pen, and this is the watercolor pencil, and you don't need, this is kind of overpowered for the watercolor pencil, but the blender pen is really great because it gives a watercolor effect. And I'll be honest with you, I was not a huge fan of the photopolymer stamps when I first got them. They look like they have dots when you stamp them. You can kind of see the way that they look when you stamp them is they almost look like like newsprint or comic book, and I really wasn't a huge fan of that. But then I realized the point of that is that they take the blender pen after they stamp it and they color, and it blends those dots together like watercolor, like the old watercolor coloring books that they had when I was little. So I have had to rethink how I feel about those.
So, if you're still here, thank you for viewing again. We're really sorry if you were here in the first half and you were like, what's going on? There's no sound. That can happen sometimes just because we're new to this whole live streaming thing, especially on when we usually film. Even when it's not live, we still have problems and we still have to go multiple times and be like, oh, we need to fix this, or you need to go do this, or stuff like that. So we're sorry if we are kind of like if you're like, stop doing that, you can't do that. But we're just new to this.
Right here. It's a stamped image, and it's like I said, it's like that dot. It's like you can see there's like dots, but then once you start blending it, those dots just all mush together and create a really cool watercolor effect. So I had to change my mind about how I felt about those, because you can do a lot of really cool stuff with them when you look at it in that way. So FYI.
Yeah, and I wanted to show you guys another tip with one of these markers. With a white thing. So say you ever wanted to shade something super light, but you didn't want it to be very overpowering. What you could do is you could get a gray pen, just like this. Mm-hmm. And what you can...
Yeah, are you doing the sweater? Okay, go ahead.
What you can do is you can take the beard, for example, and you can color over the beard on the sides. And we just turned down the light a little bit so you guys can see. And you can color on the sides here, like that. And then what you can do is you can like blend that in a little bit.
Oh, it gives a little bit of a fluffy look.
Yeah, so you can blend that in with the little white.
Is it transferring the green?
Yeah, a little bit.
So you gotta be careful, maybe clean that off.
Oh no, it isn't transferring that.
Oh, okay, I don't see it.
It's just transferring the gray over to the beard a little bit. But that's one of my tips. Yeah, you can always use a blender to blend with the gray, just so it doesn't also look too overpowering. Just because, like, say you use a jet black pen to shade the beard, that would be a little bit too cartoonish if you wanted to do more of a real look. But even gray is a little bit too overpowering, so you can always go over with a white pencil, and that works too. And it'll just lighten up the gray a little bit. But that's usually how I blend like white stuff, because it can be kind of weird.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut this out. Can you still see it okay?
Yep.
I'm gonna cut this out. Yeah. And then you can glue that on there.
So, here's our glue. This is the kind of glue we actually use. This is the multi-pen tip glue. And it's a really good glue. I really like it. So there's two tips. There's the large one, which you twist open. And this one is just kind of like, almost like a marker. So you can put some glue on there, and then you can color the glue on like a marker. Or there's this part right here. And this is just like a little fine tip one. And you can just put some on there. This one is, the fine tip one is usually for putting on sequin. And then this one, this large one, is usually for putting on like larger pieces of paper. And I do not know why it's not coming out.
Oh, you have to it's kind of running out. I had to order some more.
Yeah, but you have to shake them up a little bit. Yeah, so we're probably gonna have to use another glue just because this glue is super good and we use it almost all the time.
Here's some double-sided tape. Go ahead and use this one.
You can use double-sided tape, and this is a really good alternative to glue. Just if you don't want to have wait to make the glue dry. So what we do is you take this, and I'm not good at peeling things off.
You want help?
Yeah. Oh, I got it. Never mind. Okay, and then it's going to be really twisty and twirly, so I'm just going to put it like...
Put it on the back of, the white one, that's right. And then just bend it over. You don't even have to tear it. Yeah, very good.
And so now we have a perfect little 3D Santa tag.
Okay, here, flip it over.
And then...
we'll see how it stamps. So this is a Stampin' Dot that came out of the Paper Pumpkin Peaceful Christmas October. It's just a little sample size called Shaded Spruce. And then this stamp came from the Paper Pumpkin set. So Scout, lay your tag down. Face
like this?
Right here. Okay. And now you're gonna, no, just lay it down. Very good. Now you're gonna stamp to from on the back of the tag.
To from, and gotta kind of smush it down or else it won't go on.
Okay, let's see what happened. Good. Now you will let it dry. And then you have a little tag.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can say, here, I can say...
well, don't write anything and let it dry, and then what we need to have is, we need to have a ribbon. So let's use, I have a yarn here, a baker's twine. Use your baker's twine. This is a really long piece, but you can give yourself a little bit of. Here's what we do. This.
And there we go.
And there you can make yourself a little tag. I will leave this long because you never know how long you want it to be.
So, okay, I think this is probably pretty dry.
Well, let's just save this.
Yeah.
We don't want to put it to and from anybody. We'll just save it. So there's an option. So thanks to Susan at Simple Creative Me for the tips on how to use the recycle your cereal boxes and all kinds of stuff. And you can die cut those and punch. They make punches too. Really cool. Okay, well that's just about it for us. I think we've done enough damage here today between the no sound on the first part of the video.
Yeah, so if you are viewing this video not in live and from like another schedule, hope you have a great day, and hope you have like a great Christmas and a great winter break. And we'll
if we
see
have
you
time next week before Christmas, we'll try to get something put together or go live for you again. And in the meantime, we hope that you are staying healthy, staying happy, and you're enjoying your time with your family, and we send out blessings to you and yours.
So, have a good day.
Thank you.
And we're signing out.